Guardians wake up with no memory of who they were before. Reborn thanks to the Traveler's Light, they have a new purpose: protect Earth and the Last City. Some, though, either wake up with journals on them from their previous lives, or scour various planets and Golden Age facilities for information. Today we discuss Guardians who learned about their past lives. Welcome Guardians, let's dive right in. Guardians shouldn't look into their past lives, but some of them do anyway. Remember that Anna Bray told us this, and Warmind was a central part of that story. Anna was a part of the Bray family. She died, became a Guardian, fought some wars on Earth. But as time went on, she began to think, who was I before? What is this name badge on my hip? She would then go on to scour Mars and Venus for Warmind bunkers, even sneaking into Vanguard archives in the city to point her in the right direction, eventually finding Cameron, who gave her Owl Sector access, and then proceed to explore those Warmind bunkers. Anna Bray was integral in helping us learn more about the Bray Corporation, her alongside her sister Elsie, who pretty much now at this point know most of everything about their family's history, Golden Age, and further.
Guardians aren't supposed to investigate their past. That's the rule. But I'm not good with rules. Not when there's this much at stake. The Clovis Bray tech in that building allowed us to colonize the system during the Golden Age. They, sought to create peace for all humanity. Which is ironic, because they also built Rasputin, the single most powerful weapon in the solar system.
Hello, Guardian.
Oh, Shanks.
What do you think you're doing? Do you have any idea how dangerous this thing is? You belonged in the city. But instead of standing by your brothers and sisters when Gaul came for us, you were here, doing what you always do. What you were never supposed to do.
I did what I believed to be right.
Next up, take a look at Crow, who was revived and knew nothing about Aldrin Sov, the terror he unleashed upon the reef and the ruling in the shore. Thanks to certain plot events, he too would go down a path of wanting to learn who he was, why everyone hated him. Savathun eventually revealed all of his memories of Aldrin to him. And it's in moments like these for both Anna and Crow that epic plot moments and twists can emerge. Aldrin killed Cade, Bray family secrets on Mars.
Just let me speak to Savathun, please.
No, I won't give that witch another chance to dig her claws into you.
Why do you have such a problem with me, Petra? 5 minutes, that's all I'm asking.
The Queen of the Reef forbids it.
Don't come any closer. What did you show him?
Everything.
No, wait!
The story of Guardians who look into their past lives can be one of the most intriguing parts, honestly. If you think about it, it could be the perfect plot for some movie. Our next Guardian takes us to Micah 10 of the 6 Coyotes, the vendor we've come to know from the final shape and some lore. On Europa, we took part in the Deep Stone Crypt raid, but despite what we've seen, so much more of this place remains. We really didn't even enter the crypt itself. And it's a shame we haven't got to explore that a little bit further after Beyond Light. It would have been cool. Imagine actually exploring it in, say, a dungeon, which many people have wanted for a while. We've talked about Micah's story in the past. Europa was her home before she was a Guardian, before she became an Exo. In new lore from the embraced identity weapon, she breaks into a Braytech facility to learn about who she was. A cutting laser bathes frost-caked steel in sparks of molten metal. The light burns orange, tracing an elliptical path until the section of bulkhead can be pushed away. It lands on the floor of the chamber with a resounding clang, dislodging icicles from the ceiling in a heavy indoor snowfall. Micah 10 slides through the still glowing opening, surveying the ice-encrusted facility beyond the breach. What she finds is a labyrinth of catwalks, debris-blocked corridors, and still functioning machinery dating back to the age before the collapse. An hour into the guts of the European facility, Micah's ghost springs up over her shoulder in a cackle of light. "The power conduit's coverage in a room just past here," she says, shining a light in a nearby door that glitters with hoarfrost. "Thank you, Mihailova." Micah gently knocks her helmet against her ghost. With a steady hand, she scrapes away the frost from the door, revealing a Braytech logo stenciled on its surface. She and Mihailova share a look of trepidation. Then, with tremendous strength, Micah wrenches the frozen door open and steps into the data center. It takes hours to scan the racks for operational data, and even longer to sort corrupted files from salvageable ones. But it isn't salvage Micah is here for. An icy sheen has collected on both Micah and Mihailova in the time they spent scanning the archive, processing thousands of files, searching for a single one with the benefit of a functioning index, a needle in a haystack, until the soft gasp that escapes from Micah tells her ghost that the search is over. Micah immediately pulls a cable from the back of her neck, spooling it out to interface with the archive. She loads the file she'd been searching for, the one she'd hoped for, the answer, her answer. Exomind Project, file, index number corrupt, age 17, gender female, height 167 centimeters, weight 54 kilograms, class A6, resident. Micah rests her hand on the flickering screen displaying the file. A partial record of a lifetime, fragments of the past, pieces of her, pieces of identity, of self, answers to the dreams that have haunted her since Mihailova first woke her up. Permission be damned. "It's nice to meet you," she whispers, beginning the download. Micah Abram. So this information is still stored at Braytech facilities. It took her an hour just to get to this location to the data center, and then even more hours to scan through all of the files, so you can just imagine how big this place might be. Micah learned her old name, Micah Abram, how much she weighed, how tall she was, and where she came from. In her dialogue, she goes more in depth, even explains how she knew Cade in his early EXO days, likely from this information she found.
Europa, I ain't even there, and I can feel all that cold in my bones.
Do you remember Europa, Kate?
Bits and pieces, yeah. I ain't a big fan of numbers lower than 6, but there's still pieces of them in here, rattling chains, haunted.
Kate, do you remember anything from your first EXO incarnation?
Some. Ain't exactly happy to talk about what I do, either.
Was there a child?
I think. I don't know. I remember bits and pieces, shadows of faces. It's all a jumble, Micah. Why?
It's nothing. They can wait for a more private moment.
Never told anyone this, but I knew Kate. Before he was a Guardian. Before I was a Guardian. We were both on Europa before the collapse. I found out about it after the Braytech facilities on Europa were unearthed. I know Guardians aren't supposed to go digging into their past, but I did. I found my Exomind archive. I found myself. Micah Abram. I grew up on Europa, and even then I was struggling to understand my identity in so many ways. As a child, I was having dreams, visions sent to me by the Traveler. I didn't understand them then, but I do now. It was preparing me for this, for loss, for losing people like Anwar, like Cade. Cade was the personal bodyguard of an Ishtar Collective researcher named Maya Sundarish. He was an EXO before I entered the program. He helped me. When my fathers were away on work, Cade would talk to me, play cards, teach me how to cope with isolation. Cade doesn't remember. And that's okay. I can hug him one last time and remind him that he was missed, that he saved me.
Many characters have tread this path. They seek to learn who they were. Some wake up with journals and name tags. Others get memories through Exomind Project glitches and projects they find. Could these memory banks on Europa be the key to some future event? Maybe Bungie continues down Clovis Bray's crazy path. We know the Fallen succeeded once, maybe they once again break in and try to create exo-bodies or some other enemy race. Imagine we get to explore the Crypt further. Maybe you find bodies of all the converted exos, their human bodies. The actual data center, an icy canyon of disposed exo parts, I don't know. If not in-game in say a new dungeon, which is a wish at this point, hopefully in more lore to come, and even in movies or TV shows if they get to that. Anyway, Guardians, that's all we got for today's video. Some Guardians who looked into their past before their Guardian lives. These are some of the big ones. There's some smaller ones like Shin Malphur and even Shinobu, I believe, who were interested in their past. But if you have any more great examples, be sure to leave it in the comments below. If you'd like to see some more Destiny lore and mysteries just like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.